All right, welcome to Landslide News Insights, looking at matters the south region of Nigeria all throughout the Christmas to the New Year, especially Port Harcourt, had some heat up, especially from Minister Nyesom Wike. Now, he has vowed that if he doesn't take down Fubara, his political relevance is gone. Now I have Godwin Honor, my good friend, and Philip Adu-Odogo. Godwin, let me start from you. Wike is in a fight for his political survival. Is he going to be able to pull it off?
Well, it depends. Whether he will pull it off or not depends on a lot of factors.
Okay.
Number one, it depends on how long he is able to sustain his relationship with the president. That is one. Number two, it also depends on the outcome of the congresses of the APC. Because as it stands today, Wike has developed a theory he called Renew Hope Families in Rivers State, which is, according to him, a conglomeration of all the political parties that are in his camp. So he called them Renew Hope Family, whether you are APC, you are PDP, whichever, so long as you support Wike. So if Wike continue to depend on the Renew Hope Family, it is not recognized by our electoral law. It's not a political party. You can only seek electoral offices through a registered and recognized political parties. So if Wike continue with the Renew Hope Family and he doesn't outrightly decamp to APC, which he say he will not, that he will remain in PDP but will continue to work for President Bola Ahmed Tinubu, the leadership of the APC will not, I don't think they will want that to continue. You can see that over time, the national chairman of the party, the national security advisor, and even people like Hope Uzodinma have visited the sitting governor of Rivers State to reassure him of his leadership of the party in the state. That as the sitting governor, since he defected to APC, he remained the leader of the APC. So, whether Wike will survive this whole episode or not, like I say, it depends on those things. How he sustains with his relationship with the president, and also how the party, the APC Congress, that will eventually produce, because he can actually set up a proxy team. He's very good at that. He can sponsor people in the APC if the governor doesn't take time. If those group of people within the state hijack the APC Congress from the governor, of course.
Do you think that will happen, especially knowing that the national party or the national body is supporting Fubara?
Well, you know that Wike is a specialist in court cases. In fact, he normally brag about some court cases before it comes out. Look at what has happened in the case of PDP now. Up to today, PDP Congress was conducted in Ibadan, Oyo State, successfully, in line with the electoral procedures and laws. But as it stands today, the INEC is saying that there are a lot of court orders that they cannot recognize any of the group. And so, if they allow Wike to have his cronies taking over the structure of APC in the state, there is tendency that he will survive.
Philip, on the side of Fubara, he's continue with the state as it is. He's putting in special advisors. He's saying that he's a noisemakers, he doesn't mind noisemakers. Do you think he's going to survive Wike's onslaught?
You see, Wike is, I said it before and I'll say it again, he's a drowning man. Today, I think he's already drowned, because I saw a video over the weekend wherein the governor of Rivers State, person of Siminalayi Fubara, he visited Mr. President in company of Uzodinma and one other person, I can't recognize the face, and Mr. President addressed Fubara as His Excellency. And Uzodinma and the other person take their leave, and there's a headline for that video saying that this is the D of Fubara is second coming. The vice president in faraway Meduguri was making a statement over the weekend. He said, "Today, I am the vice president. I am the number 2 person in the Federal Republic of Nigeria in the government, but my governor, is the party leader in Borno State." He said Akpabio is the Senate president, is the number 3 person in the state, but today, Governor Eno is the leader of the party in Akwa Ibom State, and it makes so many references. And for what we're seeing, like it's rightly pointed out, Wike is gone, except and unless, if only, he can sustain his relationship with Mr. President. And from the vineyard, I also got information that for over a month now, Mr. President had not picked Mr. Wike's phone call. The only time they meet is when they have their escort together. When you overdo things, Wike has beaten more than what he can chew. What leads to this present, problem in Rivers State again? I also saw a video over the weekend wherein somebody was saying that agreement. Are you the owner of Rivers State? Is Rivers State your kitchen? That agreement that Rivers State belongs to you? What has happened? It is the budget, the new budget that Fubara is putting together. That's where this agreement came out from. Wike wants to be in charge of the Rivers State budget. So at this point, Wike has beaten more than what he can chew. The question he asked me whether he will survive or he will not survive. If he can sustain his relationship with Mr. President, maybe they will give him a soft landing, but I don't see how he can upset Fubara in Rivers State, because Fubara had not his lesson for the previous activity. And those people who are even supporting the members of the House of Assembly and all that, they are not finding it funny. For instance, they are following Wike. They are starting to show for 2.5 years in the House, and they are going to another election year. And if they are not careful, if they go this way, they might not come back. It happened to the chairman Wike put in place. They were removed, even though some of them now came in through the back door. It's not yet to huru for them. So for Rivers State, I think what is happening in Rivers State is nemesis that is catching up with Wike. Wike has overdue.
All right, let me come back to you. Now, the response of Fubara to Wike has been quite of a different note from the previous one. It's not confrontational. Wike, on his own part, still has the Matthew Amiewele's led house behind him. In other words, the budget, instead of going to the House, is now being in the executive, being adopted by the executive arm, which, of course, constitutionally, they have a right to play in that. When the House is not there, they can adopt it. How can these things be if they continue like this?
Well, it's another constitutional crisis, because the House will resist the plan of the executive, and they may end up going to another court again. But I don't see the issue of maybe attempting to impeach him or any other issue of state of emergency arising in Rivers again, because Fubara now is a member of the ruling party, and so his colleagues, the APC Governors Forum, will support him to the end, because he has now become one of them. And so, but if an agreeable decision is not taken by the two bodies, they may just end up dragging themselves to court and then, delay. Like I say, I once on this program, I once told you that one of the greatest challenge we are having in Nigeria here is the judiciary. Because world over, every politician and every political office holder are after 3 things. First, acquire power, sustain and use that power. Now, the only check in the Western world on them is the judiciary. And the judiciary is what is now an enabler of illegality in our own society. Take, for instance, where the law provides that a 2/3 majority is required when the need arises to, suspend the sitting governor. That procedure was not followed. The governor was first suspended and a voice was used. What indices will you use to determine which voice is for or against in a national assembly where all the instruments to vote, whether secret or open voting by raising up your hand to be adequately counted, was not done? And at the end of the day, the court delayed their judgment when PDP approached them until the expiration of that suspension before they rule. And even in that ruling still, there was no clear direction. So you see, people who have control over the judiciary in Nigeria are the one that rule this country, are the one that succeed in carrying out their illegal activities. Do I need to tell you? He doesn't hide it now. Somebody at every given opportunity, he shower gift on judicial members, build quarters for them. And remember, they say he who dictates, who pays the piper dictates the tune. So largely, look at your governor now, the river Edo State governor. Have you forgotten that a day or two before his judgment, he was with Wike all through? What was he doing with Wike? Was Wike a PDP, APC chairman and all of that? So it will, in my opinion, the situation in Rivers again, if they don't come to agreement, we create another constitutional issues. And remember, Wike had said that allowing Fubara to come back will amount to the end of his political dynasty. And so he is fighting for his survival.
Let me come to you with that question. The House by itself, Amewole-led House. Amewole has been bragging, talking very brutish, and of course, definitely is on the side of Wike. Do you think with Wike and Amewole that they can ousted Fubara?
You see, this is a country that law does not rule us. We don't operate by rule of law. Amewole has been cut to size, and if peradventure the budget is presented to them and they decide to do otherwise, the Nigerian will know Fubara will operate the budget without their approval, so long as he had the blessing of the president. You see, this is a very peculiar situation. This is why when people speak of sovereignty and speak of democracy and speak of whatever, that it makes me go crazy. Because if we're in a sane society, Amewole shouldn't have been in the House. You defended to APC, you went to court, you said you did defend okay, that there was no, you are not a card-carrying member of APC, the court ruled in your favor, you came back to the House as a PDP member, you are defended back to APC, and you are still in the House. The law is very clear. Like I said, if we are following, the law is clear. I have said it before, we do not lack laws, we lack people who implement the law. The law is that when you defect, when you leave your party, you lose your seat as a member of a House of Assembly or National Assembly. Here we are. Those 15 plus members who defended to APC recently in Rivers State, they to lose their seat, for crying out loud. You understand? I know it's also applicable to Fubara. That's why I said we are operating in a society that the law does not operate. So whether Fubara present budget or not, is going to run the Rivers State. So Amewole is just ranting, like he said. So long as Fubara is in the good books of the president, is in the ruling party, you have nothing to worry. It's covered. Don't you remember your senator representing you at the National Assembly, Senator Adam Soshomole, say comes to APC, your sins are forgiven. And in addition to that, comes to APC, you can do and undo. The two people who rule, the party, who are causing a lot of problem in this, this country is Governor Zodima and Wike. They are the one who. The judiciary they are always within the judiciary. Uzodima is the governor of Imo State, but it's always in Abuja. What is he doing here? Is he where he governs Imo State? So these are the kind of people we have in governance. All
right, Godwin, we can see, of course, Hope Uzodima is suddenly behind. He's the leader of the Governors Forum in APC. He's suddenly behind Fubara. Then we also see a lot of the other people. I mean, the APC national chairman, vice chairman, South, took a whip on Fubara and said, Fubara, look at this one that is calling himself a governor. We saw the national secretary of the party reprimand him and say, it's not of you to speak that way to Fubara. That even if Fubara was in opposition, You can't denigrate the office of a governor to that say, look at that one that calls himself a governor. I mean, with this one, do you think Fubara is flying high? That's number one. Number two, one of the things that will make a significant change is if we see the president remove Wike as Minister of ICT. Do you see that coming?
It's a possibility. Wike is a baggage. You know, I told you in one of our programs here, I told you that Wike will remain important and relevant to the president for as long as he holds down PDP. This I told you before Makinde revealed to the world that in a meeting that the chief of staff to the president, Wike, and the president himself were, that Tinubu didn't even ask Wike, that Wike on his own told Tinubu that Your Excellency, yes, that he volunteered that he will head PDP for him for 2023. When Wike called a counter press conference, was he very eloquent in his defense? He wasn't. So this is what we have known before. Wike has been very relevant to the president for as long as he destroyed the main opposition, which he has succeeded in destroying. So of what further use
is Wike to the president,
to Tinubu? That's one. Secondly, the ADC, currently led by David Mark and Rauf Alagbesola, you see that they are not the talking type, but they are making progress slow and steady. The presence of people like Peter Obina are unseating the entire Southeast APC member
structures.
Yes, in presence of Peter in ADC. So Wike will, for as long as I really don't see Wike staying in that office till end of Tinubu's tenure, because he recently granted an interview and he said he will be going to Rivers State now every weekend.
More often.
He said every weekend he will be spending his weekends now in River State. So it will get to a point. The PDP Governors Forum and the APC Governors Forum and the leadership of the APC will have to approach the president and
try to do away
with Wike, because Wike, as he stands today, cannot cause any harm to ADC
or APC.
Yes, APC, unless you see I cannot be very specific. Somebody advised him recently that he is open, just like Saraki. One APC chieftain in Kwara just advised Saraki that you are a founding member of APC. Your body language is supporting the president, and in the state you are playing opposition. Just defect into the APC and make it former. So let Wike do the same thing. Staying outside and causing problem the APC, because when two brothers fight, a visitor come to take their inheritance. If he continue, APC will read meaning into it that if Wike continue for fight Fubara, I mean she can put people together and win the election.
Do you have something to say? 30 seconds.
Yes, you see, former chairman of NDDC, former advisor to former president Lorenta, said that Tinubu had finished with Wike, has been thrown under the baggage, and the key has been given to Fubara, and that is the reality on ground today in Rivers State. I can't help but to agree with him that Wike days are numbered as the FCT ministers.
All right, I want to throw a wide question, not on the table at all. Oti, where do you see him in 2027?
Okay, Abia State Governor.
Just in one word. Because now it's between the devil and the deep blue sea.
Oti may go to APC.
Philip, Oti.
I strongly believe that Oti is already headed APC.
All right, we'll be right back.